Cheers. Oh yeah. It's about 6:45 that night. Smoking this bowl of Revolution right here by E.A. Carey out of my Crown of England pipe. Good smoker. Great tobacco. Great pipe. Oh, can't wait for summer. It just feels like every winter I seem to age throughout the winter. And then in the summertime, I make a comeback, but not fully to where I was the year before. Maybe that's called getting older. I don't know. I don't like it though. Got me chores done today. Yeah. And so I decided to pour a wee bit of this wonderful rum. Yeah. I was looking at one of my videos the other day and it's like, holy shit, man, I'm starting to get gray hair. Well, why shouldn't I get gray hair? I'm almost 60 years old. At the end of this year, I'll turn 60. Still fine bit of hair there, you know. Not too much gray. Maybe a little bit, you know. Oh well. Vernum. What a great bowl. Full of Latakia. You know, with each passing winter, I'm just like, man, I don't like winter at all. And with each passing winter, it feels like it's wearing on me. I love the summertime. Go out and mow the grass. When you're done, you can smell it. That green, fresh cut grass. Yeah. So, yeah. But every winter I feel as though I can't help but feel that I'm getting older. And the winter really brings it on. I don't know, maybe it's just the winter blues. Who knows? Well, this pipe's starting to heat up a little bit, so we're going to take a break and we'll be back in a nanosecond. Yeah. Oh, well, I've graduated to a cigarette, you know. So, you know, I was thinking, you know, you spend your whole life, at least this is the way my life went. Yeah, I got married when I was 19 years old, and I was really afraid. I didn't want to fail, and I didn't want to fail my wife. And I'm not talking about cheating on her or anything like that. I just I I came from a background where the man went out and worked his ass off and took care of his wife, and then eventually you have kids come along, and I remember back then how expensive diapers and formula was to feed them and so forth, and I can't even imagine it now. I mean, but that time's in the past. But so my thought process was, my parents always taught me, my mom, my dad, yeah, when you got a family, you go out and you work hard and you move forward, and you make lots of personal sacrifices, things that you'd normally want, that it's like, all right, the mortgage payment comes first, grocery money comes first, diapers come first, food and all that stuff. Yeah, that comes first before anything that you want. And I remember looking, at things that I personally wanted, and I was like, I can't have them. Just right now, it's not in the budget. And so, I put those things off. And, later in life, when I was able to, afford those things, I didn't have the crushing grocery bills and the unbelievable bills and expenses related to raising kids. I was able to go out and spend a little bit on myself, and I did. Now the older I get, I'm thinking, I never thought that, all right, if I had this one guitar, if I bought this one guitar, it's going to make me happy. I never thought that way. I thought, hey, that'd be a cool thing to have, let's save up for it, or, if I had the money, I'd just go out and get it. And that's the way I've lived my life. Responsibility to your spouse, your significant other, and to your children. And now they're all grown, and I don't have a spouse. I don't have a wife. Yeah, I think that, hey, it'd be great to, have a partner in crime. I think it'd be really, really nice to have somebody that I loved, and that I knew loved me. To go to dinners with, and just share life with, and life's experiences. And but I currently don't have that, and that's okay. I've actually, out of choice, I made that choice because, I was like, wow, I want to work on myself. I want to work on my relationship with my creator, and I put that first. And you're sitting watching me smoke a cigarette and drinking, a little rum here, and you might say, well, how can this guy be talking about, godly stuff, Well, those are my desires, all right? And you know what? There's nothing wrong with having a little glass of this. Just don't let it control you. Don't let it make you miss work. Don't let it make you sick. Don't let it be a compulsion. This is an addiction. This is just something on the sidelines, Definitely not an addiction. It was at one point in time in my life. I was really addicted to alcohol. And then, gave it up for about a month and a half and just went cold turkey. And sometimes that's what you need to do to reset everything, to reset your head. And if you go through some bed sweats and all that stuff, or you're feeling shaky and jerky, it's all right. You'll be all good. You're going to live through it, unless you're like one of those drinkers that you just have to have it 24/7. Then you should definitely seek professional medical help, or you could die. Well, so when I quit drinking, it was last August. Quit for about a month and a half. And yeah, it felt great. There was something missing though. I'd find myself at 9 o'clock at night being like, what the heck, man? There ain't nothing to do. I'm going to drive down to Walmart, walk around there for an hour, and come home. And so I, slowly started having a few beers again. And but this time I took it in pace, because I was drinking way too much. Way too much. And by some people's standards, you if I told you what I drank, which was between 8 and 9 pints of beer per night, you'd think, oh, that's nothing. Well, it was to me, I realized that you're cutting on the edge of destruction here, man. You better you better walk before they make you run, And that's what I did. So, coming back to having a partner, I'd like to have a partner. I would. Someone who could say, listen, I just heard the clock chime, or something like that. Someone that I could come home to, and, hey, honey, I'm home. Somebody that could come home to me, I'd be like, honey, I'm glad you're home. That kind of stuff. Not so much sex stuff, you younger guys, you'll find, when you're in your 20s, the little head thinks for the big head, you just can't get around that. That's normal. And then, you get into your 40s and your little head still thinks for your big head. But by the time you're my age and you're in your late 50s, almost 60 years old, this head takes over. Not that you don't still want, physical or sexual relationships, or you lose that. It's just somehow there's a balance. Yeah, I guess you'd call it a paradigm shift. And all of a sudden the big head is like, hey man, fuck you. I'm not going to go out and chase wild women and drink beer all night. I'm going to stay home and be responsible. And, but mark my words, you young men in your 20s that are listening to my voice, mark my words, when you become older, the thrill of the hunt, and you know what I'm talking about, is going to lose its luster. And you're just going to be like, I just want a good lady to chill with. That'd be cool, I'd be all in for that. I don't know. Let's fire up this Crown of England pipe again with this Revolution stuff in it, man. That's good Latakia Rich. I love it. Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Got to go back to work tomorrow. I don't know. I've got to get a haircut, man. The freaking kid that was cutting my hair was dating my landlord's daughter. And then that broke up after a couple of years. And I texted him and I was like, hey man, can I get a haircut? And he's like, lose my number. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't break up with you. She did. So, yeah. So we got about 6 more weeks until it's going to start to get real nice outside again. I can't wait. I got to rehang my barn doors, my shed doors. Yeah, they fell off. And I don't like the cold, so I'm not going out there with these screws that I have. I did buy them. They're here somewhere. Yeah, I gotta find it now. Damn it. Oh well. I don't know. Thought I had them, man. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get things ship shape around here when it gets warm. Yep, I gotta pee. I'll be back in a nanosecond. Oh yeah, so went to get Kelly, Cali, Kelly, the Killer Calico Cat's food. And they were out of her brand that she's used to ever since she Went to Hard Food 2.5 years ago. So I had to get her this. And I was like, oh, well, might as well break her into it now. I took it down there. Let's check on it. I don't know. I thought she'd be like rejecting it. She's like wolfing that stuff down, man. Yeah. Anyways, I'm thankful for that because I figured, well, if she doesn't like it, yeah, I made it. If she doesn't like it, she'll get hungry enough to like it. I don't know. Almost feeling like doing a song tonight. It's, it's 7:15 on a Sunday night, though. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Polo Pipe guy. Still alive. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying a little bit at a time. I don't know why. Over and out.